Welcome to Tokyo Alpha, the show where two guys talk about the Japanese NFT market. My name is Tony. I'm the host of Japan's top-ranked Japanese language podcast, NFT Nippon. And my co-host, as always, is one of the co-founders of the Japanese Alpha community, Spam DAO. His name is Crypto. Welcome, Crypto.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah. Good to be talking to you again. It's been a week. A lot of stuff has happened. It was a crazy 17th of December in Japan. We'll be talking about that, what happened. But before we get to that, I always start by asking you, where are you this week, Crypto?
I'm in Bangkok, recruiting somebody for my team.
Oh, nice. So you've been there like 5-6 days, I think, right?
It's been about a week actually, and today is my last day.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow, geez. Then going back to Tokyo?
Yep. I gotta go back to my company.
Okay. All right. But good trip, productive trip.
Super productive. I've been eating a lot of food and enjoy meeting new people here.
Nice. Yeah, I'm jealous. I'd love to go to Thailand. One time I almost went to Thailand, and then we ended up going to Taiwan instead.
I think that's a good choice.
Different Thai. Different Thai. Taiwan. Yeah. So, that's cool. And just for anybody that doesn't know, that's for Crypto is working on a project. He's part of the team of Zeal Chain, Dielphain. That's an upcoming NFT project that features art by Yoshitaka Amano, who, of course, is well known for having worked on the Final Fantasy series. So that's one of the many things that Crypto has been doing. However, that's been taking up a lot of your time lately, right?
Well, I enjoy doing that. I'm a builder, and I love building community. Yep.
Yeah. No, that's great. No, I know you're super busy with that, and but that's good. It's like you can't be chasing the trades and all that all the time. You got to actually build something sometimes. So
Yeah.
good. So okay, so then let's get into what's been going on. So we can start with just what we've been buying, I guess. So just an update for me. I'll keep it short and sweet because we talked a whole bunch about Valhalla last week, but I basically have been like getting in and out of Valhalla. I still have one, but I pretty much made all my money, like all my capital back. So right now that last Valhalla that I have is even if it goes to zero, I'll lose nothing or almost nothing. So I'm just holding for now. The floor is holding okay. The volume has died down, but the floor is still around 1.2. So if I were to sell right now, I'd probably lose like 0.05 on that. But again, that's all profits anyway. So not a big deal. I'm just gonna hold and wait for a little longer and see what happens. I think the floor has been holding relatively strong. People aren't panic selling too much, so you never know. Could come from here a bit, but I wouldn't be doing it if I was holding more and I was higher risk. At least I'm out just one. Then what else? Oh yeah, and then I don't know. Did you buy anything else aside from Kurenai, or was that the only one that you bought recently?
Yeah, I wanted to jump on the Trump, but I was just simply too busy. I saw it at the 0.04. I thought I was just gonna sweep some just for fun.
Yeah, you know what? Like I tweeted about Trump like pretty soon after it started, like showing up on OpenSea. I saw Japanese people that saw my tweet bought Trump.
What? Really?
Yeah, like 2 or 3 people responded to my tweets like, I bought Trump NFTs. Like, oh my God, why did you do that? I was like, no, don't do that. Because, of course, it was 45,000 supply, right? You're like, it was unbelievable. Like, oh my God, would it really sell out? But of course it sold out. The DGens got in. It pumped to like 0.8 something. Yeah, it was absolutely crazy. And even Japanese people were like telling me, like, oh man, I was looking at Trump and I was like, I wanted to get in because this is so like funny. This is so like, really? Like, I didn't know like this had such a, like it people really enjoyed like the whole ridiculousness of it, even in Japan. So I don't know. It just really was a fun thing, I guess. And if you got in early, you made some good money probably.
Hmm.
So, but I did not.
I did
I
not
didn't
either.
buy it. I mean, it's one of those things like, of course it pumped, like, of course it went up. Like, it was so obvious, but, in the moment I was like, no,
I think,
come on, 45,000, come on.
yeah, I think we're traders and we need something that
Yeah,
makes sense. But in the
yeah,
Web3
yeah,
culture, it's all about having fun. So like, it kind of makes sense.
yeah.
No,
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it was super like a meme kind of thing. It's like, oh, yeah, that makes total sense right now because, the art was it was kind of, bad and funny. And just everything about it was so ridiculous. So it's like, of course it pumped. Of course, like it makes total sense. But anyway, I just found it funny that even like the Japanese mainstream media, like news, TV shows, were reporting on this. They were saying like, "Oh, Trump sold out in 24 hours for an NFT collection," and people were like surprised that it like his announcement that he was not something else. It was an NFT collection. Like the normal news in Japan that doesn't talk about NFTs mostly, like was actually talking about this. So I found that super funny.
hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what some Japanese people were buying. But aside from that, I think I bought a couple of other like little things here and there, but nothing special. But I also bought Kurenai, which was probably the most anticipated NFT collection of December 17th
Hmm.
because there were like 5 collections or something that came out on December 17th.
Hmm.
Uh, but Kurenai was the one that most people were paying attention to. You had whitelist for Kurenai, right?
Yep, I had two, so I minted 8.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So Kurenai was not doing that great actually.
Hmm.
Like it was staying over. It sold out, which is great. In this market, congratulations. That was 9,071.
Hmm.
That's not an easy thing to do, but they sold out, and right now the floor is at 0.058. But for like two days, it was like around 0.04. It was like up and down to 0.04, and min price was 0.02, I think.
No,
You know,
0.223 or something like
zero,
some small number. Yeah.
yeah, 0.023. So of course it was like a 2x if you minted, but given how much people were talking about this and kind of paying attention to it, it was a little bit disappointing, I think, for some people. But like even Big Hat Monkey, the main guy behind this project, he tweeted out, he's like, "Oh, I kind of, looking back on how we did things, I kind of regret the fact that there was so much sell pressure. Like there was a lot of people buying, but there was too much sell pressure, so the floor didn't move. But I believe that once the reveal comes, it's gonna pump. That's my belief." He said, tweeted something like that.
Hmm.
So I don't know if that's gonna happen, but what I've been seeing since it launched on the 17th is that small numbers of people are buying large numbers of this NFT.
Hmm.
They're like kind of doing small sweeps of the floor just periodically. And finally, it like maybe like a few hours ago, it started pumping past 0.05, and it's now around the 0.06 area. It got up to there. So and the listings are down. Like the listings were up to like 7% or something like that, but now the listings are like 3%. So I think the Japanese community and maybe like some team members have been buying and buying and buying and getting the flippers out. So the floor is finally starting to move.
Hmm.
I mean, how high will it go? I don't know because liquidity is so kind of spread apart right now with so many projects. But I think it could keep going a bit more just simply because like the listings are so low. It's at 3%, so it certainly could go higher.
Hmm.
Um, Yeah, but I don't know. Like I did get in. I sold one for a little bit of a profit, tiny profit. And then I still have three, which I accidentally bought. I only meant to buy one, but I accidentally bought three, and the cost was like 0.06 something. And I was like, oh no, I messed up. Like I used like an app thing to buy, and I accidentally bought more. So right now, if I sold, I'd lose like probably like $20 or something. So, so I'm just gonna hold. I think I could at least make my money back if I hold it
Yeah.
for now. But I don't know. I don't know when the reveal is. Have you heard anything?
I don't think that's announced yet.
Okay.
But I checked out the community and they look solid for the Japanese side. For the American side, like
Yeah.
so many beginners. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think they got solid community.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the floor price,
Um.
the community decides the floor price.
Exactly. Yeah. 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 I mean, they're especially I think the super important at this beginning when a lot of people might say like, oh, the floor it isn't moving, but it's the people in the community that are probably buying the most. Now they're taking on the most risk. So if something happens, they're the ones that have to deal with that. The losses if there's any losses. But um, it's been steady. It's been slow but steady. People are buying and buying and buying, and the volume is going up little by little by little by little. And once the flippers are out, I think the low listings will probably hold because the people that are buying now are not out to make like a 0.01 profit,
Hmm.
right? So
Hmm.
they're probably going to hold more long term. So like I said, I think it definitely could. Yeah, the floor just went up to 0.06, so people are buying it up when it's going back down into the 0.05. So yeah, the more that these short term people get out, yeah, it'll keep going up. But my concern is just the overall liquidity. Like even if you were to sweep the floor and buy 10, like it'll probably take maybe a day or two or three to get out completely of the project because overall compared to like the big projects, in the West, liquidity is less and sales are slower. So unless your intention is to totally crash the floor, you're gonna have to list little by little and sell one by one. But yeah, I mean, people are still paying attention to this. People are still talking about it, and once the reveal happens, if the art does turn out to be as good as it seems like it is, because the art does look pretty cool, I think it certainly could continue to do good. But again, long term, I don't know because there's so many projects um, competing for attention right now that's really the thing that nobody can predict, like which one is going to come out on top long term. But yeah, that's Kurenai. That is the project that performed the best, I think, of all of the projects that minted out on the 17th.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so we can talk about some of the other projects that minted out on the 17th. For example, there was Bayplay. We talked about Bayplay. Again, I do personally like the artist, what he does. I thought they were trying to do something interesting, but it just seems like their marketing just did not do enough, and their mint price was 0.04, and it seems like they did not sell out. So currently they're at like a 666 supply. I think they're burning the remainder, and the floor price is unfortunately under 0.04. So that's usually not a good thing. Um, so I'm not sure what their new plan is, but maybe they're just gonna go with that for a while and I don't know, relaunch later, expand later. But when the attention is so divided and you have a relatively high mint price, that's a risky thing to launch when like four or five other projects are launching the same day. So that was Bayplay. We talked about that before. And then there was also Super Sapiens. Super Sapiens was a project that was getting a good amount of attention. Like some notable people in the Japanese entertainment industry were involved with it. But unfortunately, I mean, this project isn't disappearing. It's just that it seems like they might not mint out. I think they're currently still in a public sale, but their mint price. So they didn't sell out in whitelist, and then their public sale price was 0.08. But then what they did was when it didn't sell out and there was still a lot left, they cut the mint price to 0.05. And last I checked, the floor price was 0.05. So that's not too good. And then they cut the public sale supply by like half from like 1,000 to 500. And then they announced a whole bunch of utility, like if you hold 5 or 10 or 50, whatever, so they're trying to get the holders to buy more. Um, but it seems tricky. Like it seems like yeah, they might have to like get rid of the extra supply. They're not going to sell out, or if they do, it'll be just barely. Um, so that that was a project that I was paying attention to. I was genuinely interested in it, but yeah, it's just bad timing. I mean, if I think if they would have launched on a different day and they would have gotten a little bit more attention, they could have sold out. But it's just they were competing with so many others on the same
Hmm.
exact day. and like that cuts out, the secondary liquidity too. Like it's like, should I buy a Super Sapiens or should I just spend that 0.05 or whatever on another Kurenai?
Mm.
Right? Like people think about that. That's the thing. And there's another one that launched that sold out. It was Metacavetsu. This is by, seems to be like I don't know if he or she, probably a he, but this guy Metacavetsu, I guess Metacabbage would be the English pronunciation, but they've done several projects and they're involved with like Tokyo Art JP or something like that. I don't really know exactly what they do, but they seem to be a pretty well-known person in the space. And it was only like 1,001 at a 0.001, so that sold out, no problem. I mean, when it's that cheap, it'll probably sell out. And that's holding a floor of like 0.02, so that did okay. Low supply, low mint price, so yeah, that's if you have whitelist, you're going to mint it out just in case. Yeah, so those were kind of the main ones that I saw. I also saw another one. I don't know if it minted on the 17th, but it's been kind of selling, but the floor isn't doing anything amazing. 3,600. What is it, Yako?
Mm.
Yeah. Do you know anything about that one?
Actually, that's the first time hearing it.
Okay. Yeah. I've seen it on the OpenSea trending and stuff. It seems like it's a project of 36 different Japanese artists drawing like yokai, the Japanese monsters. And it's a 3,600 collection. It probably was either a 0.001 mint or a free mint. And the floor is a little bit under 0.01, but there's been some volume over the past couple of days. It did make it to the open trending page, so I don't know. I didn't buy anything, but that's another one that minted out. So yeah, but really the one that stole the attention, in this very competitive market right now was Kurenai. That's the one that's still sustaining volume and getting, I think, the most attention at the moment. Something else that we didn't talk about last week, but I do want to bring up briefly is Shikibu World.
Mm-hmm.
That one minted out like weeks ago, roughly. That's another one of these like roughly 10K collections that mint out at 0.001 and is connected to Ikehaya-san / Crypto Ninja Partners in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And that one did quite well. I mean, for 0.001 mint price, it went up to like around 0.3. And then it calmed down. And now it's been holding steady at like 0.2. And it's got very low listings at like 2%. So probably a lot of Crypto Ninja people got whitelist for that. And you're getting that like low listing diamond hand community, I guess.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah. I mean, that's Ikehaya-san has built something really interesting there, where he knows his people are going to diamond hand things, so they will hold a decent floor, even if there's no big announcements in the short term. But yeah, Shikibu World. I mean, I didn't buy into that. I don't know. But I don't like the art, but there's some people like it. I guess there's something there. I know the creator is quite an accomplished person. They've worked with like NHK, and they're like a pro artist. So I don't know. They must have decided for a reason for this specific character, this art. There must be a reason behind it, but I don't really know anything specific about it. I can only really say like the art doesn't vibe with me, but it's that's fine. That's totally fine. We all have our preference. Yeah, so that's Shikibu World. You didn't get in on that one either, right?
I've been just watching from far away.
Yeah. It's been scary to get in on these because, like I said, like the people are really anticipating certain big projects, especially LLAC, which we've talked about a bunch of times. So it's not like Owl Panda. Like Owl Panda, people were anticipating it, but it also kind of surprised a lot of people, I think. People. Well, I think even I was very optimistic about it. I didn't expect it to go to 2 ETH right away, right? Obviously, there was the foreign non-Japanese traders getting in on that and pumping the floor. So that certainly helped. But I think Owl Panda kind of surprised people a little bit, and so people are now they have certain expectations about other collections.
Mm.
For example, Mafia Animals of the Mafia Animals. So a couple days ago, we saw I think it was a new, yeah, it was a new one that the creator sold for 14 ETH. So probably what's going on here is that the holders of the Genesis collection probably get to mint more of the upcoming generative collection,
Mm.
because that's exactly what happened with Owl Panda and Devil Kitty. Uh, so people are paying these really, really high amounts for the Genesis collection of the Mafia to get, the special rolls and to be able to mint more or whatever extra perks that you get for being a Genesis holder. The kind of concerning thing for me is, when you see, like, the previous sale was 13 ETH. So you're seeing 13 ETH, 14 ETH. You're seeing expectations of, profit, being built into those prices.
Mm.
And so that tells me that, people have very high expectations for this. And it's going to be one of these 0.001 mints, but it's still a little bit scary, right? When people assume that it's going to do really, really well, and then what happens if it disappoints a little bit? I don't know, but that always, it scares me a little bit, because we've seen that happen in the global market with things like, I don't know, there's tons of projects that, people were expecting to do really well, and then it doesn't, and then the floor collapses. So, you know, just be careful. That's all. That's all I mean. It's great that it's super popular and that it seems like it's going to do well, but just be careful.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, if you have whitelist, why not mint?
Oh, if you have whitelist, absolutely. It's like, max mint, of course, it's an obvious play. I'm just saying, like secondary, in the secondary, be careful, because that thing is probably going to be going up and down, especially in the very beginning. Like,
When the
it
flipper's
could
getting
pump and
out.
then dump, and then,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like, then pump really hard again. You don't know. It could be one of these wild, super volatile floors. So just understand, you might be in for a crazy ride if you get in on secondary. But yeah, I totally expect it to sell out easily. I totally expect it to it won't be selling at 0.002. I'll tell you that much.
Hmm.
Right? So yeah, it'll probably have a similar, probably, similar to Owl Panda kind of thing, where the it starts out at like 0.2 to 0.3, if not even more. Who knows?
Hmm.
But yeah, that's pretty much what's been the main project that have sold recently. So, but of course, there's still plenty other ones coming. Honestly, I don't really know too much about a lot of these that I was looking at on a schedule that I found. But for example, there's on the 23rd of December, there's Kagura, which is an 8,888 project. That's I think the mint price is going to be 0.033. And this project is another one from the Japan NFT Museum. It's got two names, so it's got Nihon NFT Bijutsukan and Japan NFT Museum, or Japan DAO.
Hmm.
And they've put out a bunch of projects. Niji, Amato, um, and I think like one or two other collections. They've all done well, but this is a pretty big collection with a little bit of a high mint price, compared to those Crypto Ninja ones. This is 0.03. Uh, so I don't know. I really don't know if people are going to be buying on secondary for this with such a big supply.
Hmm.
But who knows? They've done very well up until now.
Yeah, I mean, it's all up to how big their community is. Like,
Yeah, yeah. That's the what the interesting thing about Crypto Ninja partners and all these Ikehaya connected collections is, like, at 0.001, it's like they can keep putting out stuff and people will keep minting, because like it's almost guaranteed you're not going to lose money, because the floor isn't going to go. At worst case, it'll go up to a little bit under 0.01. Like it's almost always going to go up. So and so that means they get a guaranteed like 10 ETH or whatever from that. And
If you do take profit, once you take
yeah,
profit, they're gonna go through
yeah,
your wallet and they do the collector
yeah,
test. Like if you don't pass the collector test, you know,
yeah.
yeah, you don't get whitelist for the upcoming collections.
That's the thing. Yeah, and they keep track of all of that. And this is we're not like gossiping or anything. This is like known information. Ikehaya-san has talked about this in his spaces. He goes through the list and he looks at people that he's going to pick for upcoming projects.
Yeah, it's
So
happening outside of Japan too. Like that's
yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, yeah, if if it works, it works, I guess. Huh?
mhm.
But that's the thing. But then like how do you? But I don't know. Like, is that sustainable forever? Right?
It's not his ecosystem is expanding really fast, and his liquidity is being spread out to like each communities, right? So I don't know how long
Yeah,
he can last. Like he's been collecting a lot of money from the like paid Discord thingy,
yeah.
and that's how you get the whitelist for upcoming collection. That's his way of making money in Web3. It's
But
really
that's the thing is though, like his paid Discord is his thing. That's not CMP. That's not anything. Like that's his money. That's his company.
mm,
Um, the CMP money is the CMP money, right? These other projects depends on the project. Some of these, is a different founder, like CMPJ. Like that's a different person. Some of these projects go back to CMP, so that's CMP money. But like Ikehaya-san is not. He might not. I don't know, but he might not directly be making money from CMP.
mm.
I mean, he has a huge bag of CMP. I think he said he has like 300 or more, but obviously he's not selling. Uh, but I mean, in theory, like if his vision works out, CMP will continue to be the top project in Japan. The floor will go to 5 ETH or whatever, and one day he's going to become a billionaire from selling like 100 CMP. Um, I don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll see. But that the interesting thing that he's done is his Discord, his paid Discord is his business, but he has utility for CMP in his paid Discord, even though that money doesn't go to CMP.
Mm.
That's really interesting. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's certainly interesting.
Mm.
But yeah, that's the thing though. It's like how many projects can you keep putting out eventually? Like I don't know. Like and if you can't take profits, then like what are we doing? I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. But anyway, 1225 we have CNC. I don't even know what this C is, but that's another CMP related project. Um, this one is 1,111 at a 0.001 mint. So yeah, probably gonna mint out. Yeah, that's probably fine. I don't know what the heck it's for, but yeah, there's another one. 1225. I think we have another here, CMP related project. Pixel Baby Ninja. I got 10,000 at a 0.001. Yeah, it'll probably mint out. This is so, it's like, so you know how in the foreign market, in the global market, we had all these like copycat derivative projects that were not related to the original, like all these stupid ape projects
Mhm.
and all these like fake HOOZUKI kind of projects. Um, the interesting thing that CMP has done is they've been able to monetize that model to benefit themselves,
Mm.
right? Like instead of like people just doing it and like these kind of scammy projects, everything is within the ecosystem. So even like the fan art stuff, the official derivative projects, they all kind of benefit CMP in some way. So I don't know. That's definitely an interesting model. Again, I don't know how long it's going, but it's working for now.
Mm.
Uh, let's see. And then, of course, we've talked about this so many times, but 1228 is Live Like a Cat, LLAC. That is the next big Ikehaya-san connected project. I think he's only doing the marketing. He's not like the founder. That's somebody else named Shuhei. but this is the one that I think people are most anticipating this month, and they're holding on to money probably. They're holding on to their ETH just in case they can't get whitelist, and they're going to probably try to get in on secondary.
Mm.
But yeah, that's the one. I don't know. Anything you want to add about LLAC, or have we basically discussed everything there is to discuss?
Well, I see a lot of people tweeting about LLAC, like expressing their
Yeah,
love for the project, how excited they are to be part of the project and all that. I think that's a bullish sign.
yeah. Oh yeah. I agree. I mean, I expect it to do well. Uh, my concern is that is it going to do so well that it'll be that sort of like I said, like I've said before, other deep kind of like liquidity events where the market will be a little bit more dead afterwards.
Mm.
I don't know.
Wow.
But my so but here's a question for you. Do you know like what exactly this is? Like what's the goal of this project? Like what are they trying to, because DMP is kind of like a long-term IP, they're trying to build an anime, they're trying to do like games connected to this. They're trying to build a whole like intellectual property, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a franchise around DMP, a character thing. What do you know, is there any specific like mission or goal with this LLAC?
Mm, actually, I don't know nothing about it. I haven't read the white paper.
Yeah. See, I've never heard I haven't listened to their spaces really, or done much research into it. So maybe they have said something, but all I know is that Ikehaya-san has said in his space, like I said before, he was handpicking with Shuhei, the people, but also he said that they were planning on making it a totally closed community. So even if you don't have like if you don't have an NFT, you can't even get into like a public chat channel.
Mm.
Like in order for you to do anything in the Discord, you have to have an NFT. And they're trying to like keep it really like any information in there. They're trying to keep all the information in there in that community. They
Mm.
want to like keep it very close. But I don't know what they're doing.
I see. Mm. Yeah, same here. It's very secretive.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's
So
how you like keep the diamond hand tight knit community.
yeah, I guess so. Well, even in the global market, we see a little bit of mystery and kind of easing what could happen. I mean that can help. But I don't know. I'm curious. Maybe I should look into it just to understand it a little bit better. But since I don't have whitelist, I haven't bothered.
I mean, like a lot of people are like going through hoops just to get the whitelist for this project. That's how bullish people are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
See that?
I don't know if it's worth it to get the whitelist that way. You can just sweep the floor, you know.
Yeah. That yeah, yeah. Again, look. I am looking at it. I will look at it when it launches, and I will make a decision then. I'm not saying I will definitely buy, but because who knows? Like I could totally see something like this happening where everybody saw what happened in Owl Panda. So now
Mm.
the floor starts at like 0.5 or 0.6.
Mhm.
And at that point, you're like, oh man, like unless the global community starts to get in on that, which is possible because like I remember hearing some, foreign influencers talk about this like 2 or 3 months ago.
Mm.
So they're aware of it. So it's possible that we could get some, non-Japanese action in this. So I'll see what happens. I'll make a decision on the day. But I don't intend to hold this because I just don't. Yeah, I don't want to keep a lot of money in NFTs at this point. I'm mainly trying to um, stay liquid and maybe like dollar cost average into um, maybe some ETH or I'm even considering stocks a little bit because I've managed to make some profits in NFTs and I don't want to just keep putting it back into NFTs
Mm.
because the last time I did that I lost it most of
Yeah,
it.
I'm same. I'm exactly the
Yeah.
same.
So yeah, I learned my lesson. It's like, okay, you keep a little budget for the NFTs, but you make a profit, you keep a little bit, but then you move some out, you put it into cash or you keep it in ETH and you get it out of the MetaMask because otherwise you're going to spend it. I'm
Mhm.
trying to I'm trying to be responsible. And then one last one that we can briefly mention is DenDekeDen. Um, so this one has been getting a little bit of attention in Japan. You told me about this one first.
Yeah, well, one of the
Uh,
new member of the Slam Down. He is also the
hmm?
member of the DenDekeDen. He's the one who
Oh,
dropped the alpha in her server.
gotcha. Okay, okay. So DenDekeDen, uh, they just started like maybe about a week ago. They started getting more active on Twitter and releasing more information. And they opened up their Discord. I listened to a space yesterday about DenDekeDen. It was one of the guys that worked on it. It seems to be like an IP kind of thing. They're creating multiple characters, like maybe 6 or 7 characters, and the artist is apparently is a well-known Japanese artist named Sashimi-san or something like that. I think it's Sashimi or Sashimi-san. I don't know them, but I think they're very successful. Uh, and the characters look like kind of cute, uh, like classic Japanese kind of mascotty kind of characters. It seems, but it's kind of mysterious. It seems like it's a storytelling kind of thing. And the person that was talking in the space was saying that it's a joint project between, I forgot the name of their company. I'm sorry, but they were saying that a Japanese animation company was involved in the project, but they couldn't release the name of the company yet.
Mhm.
So I don't know, but it seems like it's a storytelling thing, and they're going to be kind of building a story with the community. And they've released like Twitter accounts for some of the characters, and they're going to be running like different Twitter accounts for each of the characters and telling a story like that. Uh, so I don't know. Like I think storytelling has potential, but for me, I just don't have the time to be following a story all the time. So I like art, usually because I can just buy it, hold it, and kind of forget about it. Storytelling, like if you really want to get involved in the community, I think that can be really fun. But just for me, I don't have the time to do that. So I won't be like trying to get whitelist from it, but I'm interested. I'll just say that I'm interested. I'm curious. I want to know a little bit more, but they're being very vague right now. I don't really I can't really say much more than that. That's all I know. But it's interesting. It's interesting for now.
Mm.
That is DenDekeDen. That's DenDekeDen. Oh, and I think they're minting out on. So they're minting a collection. It's not their main collection. They're minting a collection on like December 31st or January 1st. I forget which one. I think it's January 1st. And it's like an omikuji collection. So an omikuji is like a fortune telling thing that you get on New Year's when you go to the shrine in Japan. And I think that will probably act as a whitelist or some sort of priority mint for their main collection. But the omikuji mint is only like 700 something, and their main collection is probably going to be bigger. So uh, yeah, if you get that omikuji, it'll probably be easier to get the whitelist later on. But you have to have a whitelist to mint the omikuji. So I don't have whitelist, so I guess I won't be.
Mm.
But yeah, just I think it's something to keep an eye on. But again, not enough information to really say more. Like I want to know what this Japanese company is that's involved with it,
Mm.
and then how does this storytelling turn out? Um, we've seen a lot of these storytelling type collections launch in the global market, but as far as I can remember right now, we haven't seen any super prominent storytelling collections launch in Japan.
Mm.
Uh, but I might be wrong on that, but I just can't remember one where like their main thing was like let's build a story together. Um, but I mean that's another thing that will probably become more and more uh, prevalent. We'll see. These like IP plays are not going away. Cute characters are certainly not going away. So, anyway, that's DenDekeDen.
Mm.
That's basically it. There are other projects minting out, but yeah, there's just so many. And we'll just see. Like if something interesting happens, we'll talk about it maybe next week or whenever we can record again. Anything? Oh, floor on Kurenai is 0.062. Oh, moving a little bit. So, anything else you want to add, Crypto?
Yeah. When is LLC meeting?
According to the calendar that I saw, that was December 28th,
28th.
Japan time. These are all Japan time.
You think the Kurenai is gonna be revealed by then, or?
That is a really good question that I've been thinking about. Because like either way, it's a little bit of a gamble, right? Like, do you want to launch? Do you want to reveal before, and try to get some liquidity before people are totally about LLAC, or do you want to wait until after LLAC, like launches? So then you're gonna have to wait until the next, until January, and that's gonna be like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. That's a long time. I mean, Yugian did a long wait, but I mean, are they gonna make us wait like 2-3 weeks? I don't know.
Well, in my opinion, making people wait for the reveal is great to shake out all the flippers.
Okay. Good point.
Because flippers, they want to let it go, right? They want to let it go
Yeah,
ASAP. They don't want to hold it any more than 2 or 3 days.
yeah, I agree. Yeah,
So if you can like make them wait for 2 weeks, they're like, oh shit, I gotta take profit and go out now. I have other project to mint,
yeah,
right?
yeah, 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 yeah. And I think especially the non-Japanese, flippers, they're very scared that the floor is going to go down, because in non-Japanese projects that's super common.
Yeah.
But right now we're seeing strength. I mean, 3% listed, and the floor is very slowly going up.
Yeah, because
So I don't think this is going to dump.
yeah, I don't think it's gonna dump either.
Not financial advice.
Well,
Yeah, not pure opinion, but yeah, I'm seeing a good trend here.
yes,
Uh,
just like how you see like the percentage that are listed NFT went
yeah,
down, right?
it's down by like more than half, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and yeah, like unfortunately, I would not be buying at this point. I mean, unfortunately, I already bought at around this price. But like, shortly after launch, my mistake. I was not intending to buy 3 at like 0.06 or something like that. But yeah, the time to buy was like at the 0.04, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see how much liquidity they have to push
Yeah,
the price up before the reveal or after the reveal. I don't know which one they're aiming for.
yeah. Well, I mean, wait until early January. That might not be a bad idea. I think this floor could definitely make a run to 0.07. There's not that many left until 0.07. Well, so, but yeah, I think it could go like in the next 2 days or so. So yeah, we'll see. I'm looking forward to the reveal. Honestly, I don't know if I will hold all 3 into the reveal. Maybe I'll hold 1.
Yeah,
But I do generally want to see the art. I think
yeah.
the art looks interesting. It's got its own unique flavor. It's very identifiable, and that's exactly what you want in a profile picture, right? You need it to be like super recognizable, just in a tiny screen. And of course, if it looks super cool, that's really good. People want to use it as their profile picture, and then that drives the kind of awareness and attention.
Yep. That
So we'll see. And do you know if they're still planning to release another 10,000?
I honestly
I remember you
haven't.
mentioned that.
Yeah. Well, I haven't looked into it yet. I'm just
Yeah,
watching the price action.
yeah. I mean, I really don't think they're going to launch. Even if they do someday, it's probably not going to be before reveal. They're probably going to do that much later. I hope so. I hope they don't just announce another 10,000 like next week or something. And I think, judging from the sound of Big Hat Monkey's tweet, it sounded like he was like, no, I kind of messed up. I gave too many whitelists to flippers, so I don't think he's going to release a whole bunch of supply at this moment. So hopefully.
Mm. I
But yeah, anyway, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, should be okay.
Yeah. All right. So we'll leave it at that. We'll probably be back next week. We'll see. Not sure if it'll be Tuesday or whatever, but keep an eye out on the tweet. So you got to go to the airport, I assume, huh?
Yeah, I gotta go shopping for my family first, and then
Oh, okay, okay.
head to the
Got
airport.
to get some omiyage.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great way
All
to
right, go.
tell a story.
It is, yeah.
Mm.
Like you went to Thailand and you didn't bring me anything. What? No. You gotta take him something.
Yeah,
You gotta take him something.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so enjoy that. We'll probably be back next week. Yeah, and let's see. Usually I do a space on Saturday mornings in Japan. I think this Saturday is going to be Christmas Eve. Honestly, I don't know if we're going to do that space this week, but whatever. I'll announce it if I do.
Yeah, yeah. It's always
That one's
fun.
English Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I mean, Saturday morning it gets a nice crowd every Saturday morning. But and yeah, and like I said, crypto. One of the co-founders of Spam DAO. If you're interested in that, check his profile out. And follow us over at Tokyo Alpha HQ. We do this stuff usually weekly. Sometimes we skip a week here or there, but usually weekly. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. All right. See you next time.
All right. See you guys.